Entering scores. To get the most out of tangent, you'll want to enter scores. The scores are what we use to generate either shots or advanced statistics to tell you how to improve your golf game. So you're going to want to enter scores either after every round or after every hole. Our score tracking is a little different, but should feel very familiar if you've used any other golf app. But the difference is in the details, and it's what we do with that information. When you're done with a hole or after the round and either walking to the next hole or your golf cart, it's real simple to put your scores in either on your phone or on your Apple Watch. On your phone, you're just going to tap that little pencil to bring up the score entry page, and then we're just going to fill out the form. You're going to start with score. How many strokes did you take to complete the hole? Then you're going to move on to putts. How many strokes did you take on the putting green? Drive quality. This only shows up on non-par 3s, but this is a general grade of how good your drive was. If you managed to hit a solid drive in the fairway, then you should mark it as either good or great. It's kind of subjective and up to you, but you'll see that data in the stats. If you missed the fairway, but you have a decent shot to advance it towards the green or on a par 5, then you should mark it as okay. That may indicate that you're in the rough, but you can still hit a good shot from there. If you're in trouble or blocked by trees, plugged in a bunker, or otherwise just can't advance the ball normally, then you should mark the lie as recovery. If you drove into a penalty, whether it's a drop or out of bounds, you're going to mark your drive quality as penalty. Speaking of penalties, if you had a penalty, regardless of which shot it was, you will increase the penalty counter to match the number of penalties you took on a hole. That helps us with the auto shot tracking. The first putt length is exactly what it sounds like. It's just how far was your first putt from the hole. Tap in is for putts that you absolutely shouldn't miss. These are generally 3-foot putts or less. Short putts are putts that you're going to make more often than not, but aren't guaranteed. I like to keep that kind of in that 7-foot threshold. Medium putts are putts that you want to make, but you're going to miss most of the time. Those are really from like 7 to 25 feet if you need a number. And then long putts are putts where a 2-putt's a great result and you just don't want a 3-putt. Generally, that's anything from like 30 to 50 feet. Very long putts are where 3-putting is a very real possibility, and generally I reserve very long for anything over 50 feet or so. Again, that's just a general guide. As long as you're consistent with the way that you mark putts, you'll know what to work on in the stats. The first putt length is also not hypercritical if you choose to track shots on the phone, because you're going to be able to drag things around on the green and set it exactly. But if you want simpler putt entry or you don't track shots, make sure that first putt looks good. Track shots. This may default to off, but you'll want to turn it on if you're going to track shots and get the most out of the platform. We try to keep it really easy on you to track shots, but you have the option to turn it off and keep just a simple scorecard. Reset will set your score to 0 as if you never played the hole, so use that to remove a score maybe that you didn't have if you get it wrong. Pickup will set your score to net double bogey and bypass any shot tracking for that hole. At the bottom, you're going to see predicted values based on your data. If you need to change the fairway misdirection, you can tap it and then select left, right, or fairway accordingly. Green in regulation is automatically set based on what you entered for score and putts, so you can't really change it here manually. If it's incorrect, then you probably got either your score or your putts wrong, and you should double check those. 2-chip. Use this to mark a hole where you took more than one shot inside 50 yards or meters to get on the green. This helps us evaluate your short game. If you have a ton of shots on a given hole, it'll probably automatically turn 2-chip on, which you can turn off, or it may prompt you after the hole to ask you if you 2-chipped to get to the score that you got. Make sure you get that right, because it tells our system whether we need to focus on short game or approach game when you miss. When you're done, hit save. And if you had penalties, the system's going to ask you which shot had those penalties. Again, this is so we can generate some useful data to help you improve. If you have shot tracking turned on, you're going to be taken directly to the shot tracking screens. We'll cover that in another tutorial. If you don't have shot tracking turned on, you'll have your simple score recorded and it'll automatically advance you to the next hole. All of this can also easily be done from an Apple Watch, which is my personal favorite way to do it. It should all look and feel very similar to the phone. From the main GPS, you'll hit the plus button to bring up score entry, tap the plus or minus to get the score correct. The system has already predicted whether you've hit the fairway, but if you need to make a change, you can tap that and change it just like we did on the phone. And if you had penalties, you'll add them here. This is a picker. You can simply tap it and swipe up or down to change penalties, or use the digital crown on your watch to adjust how many penalties you had. When you're done, you'll hit the green check mark. it had penalties, you're going to tell us which shot had the penalty or penalties so that we can use that for the shot tracking. On this next screen, you're going to enter how many putts you had, and then you can enter the distance of each putt in the pickers below. Similarly, you'll select each picker and you can use a digital crown to adjust it, or you can swipe up and down to adjust the length of each individual putt. And when you're done, you'll hit the green check mark. With the Apple Watch, there's no need to do anything else for shot tracking. Since we have swing detection and we've got a pretty good idea of where you hit shots, we're going to automatically add them for you. You can always go back and edit them on your phone if needed after the round, but it's just as simple as that to also track shots when you have an Apple Watch. If you have putt details enabled, you'll also be prompted for where your putts missed, but this is a feature for another tutorial. Just know that it exists. If you're struggling with green reading or putting, you'll want to turn putt details on later as you get used to the app. All right, that's all there is to scoring. It may take a round or two for you to get used to it and for you to get oriented, but I promise it's as easy as that to get advanced stats in the Tangent system. It quickly becomes second nature, and the information we just collected will help you play better golf.